Morning, everyone. Thought I'd just start a little bit earlier, just so I can attend to dear Nads. She's not feeling too well, I'm afraid. So I'm afraid you've only got my mugginses today. I'm sure she'll be better tomorrow. She's just got, it's definitely a cold of some form. She hasn't got any of the sinister COVID things, and she's been tested. So she's obviously got a cold of some form, and she's just feeling very under the weather. So I'm encouraging her to stay in bed, have hot beechams, and put her feet up. But I'm sure you'd all like to send her your regards. So I'll send her all your regards after this. Morning, Jane. Morning, Emma. Morning, Ben. Sending you and Darren love. Hope you get through this tricky time. Leslie S, B Steiber, Katie Johnston, Stuart G, Lorraine Eads, Anita O'Reilly, Lorna Jane Sullivan, Nika Palmer, Raspberry Mojito Girl. Yep, sending all our regards to Ben and Darren. Miss One Tricia, good, yeah. I mean, I would say I'm not worried about Ness. I just feel for her. She's feeling, oh, there she is, she's upstairs. She's feeling very under the weather, bless her. So I'm trying to encourage her to take rest. Angela Thompson, big good morning today. Amber Grindley, thank you, wishing Nadia well. Morning, Munchkin Nick. Lee, hello Lee. I'm sure Nadia sends all her love to you too. She's just a bit under the weather. She's upstairs in bed at the moment. Though I can hear footsteps. Maybe she's going to the loo. Cold. Oh, there she is coughing. You can probably hear her coughing in the background. Leor, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leo. Happy birthday to you. Sarah Jordan. All right, people keep asking where our plaque is. It can't go there because there are electrics there, and it's a bit, I don't know where to put it at the moment. So it is going up. I know there were some people reprimanding us for not having put it up yet, as if it's some sort of sign of slovenliness. But honestly, it's in there. It's cherished, it's loved, and it's adored alongside our letter from YouTube. And but yeah, I don't know. It will go up. I promise it will go up. Moira Instance, g'day Mark, wish Nadia a speedy recovery, will do. Marion Patterson, Lucy Heaney, have you and Nadia watched The Social Dilemma, very in keeping with Nadia's detox, or was it part of it? Not too sure what that is. Hi Mark, Nadia, I will join members again today. Bless you, my darling. Just you don't feel you have to. Lucy, I've just read that. Annabelle Iglesias, morning from Spain. Rebecca Mitchell, plenty of rest for Nadia. Absolutely, she's resting today. Then it'll keep getting knocked over though. Total Storm Addict if it goes there. So happy birthday, Leo. I hope you have a lovely day on this day of 6. The day of 6. I was looking on Twitter actually to see what people were thinking about this, and lots of people were drawing significance from that. From the number 6, there was another 6, and then another 6. Like it was 3 6s of the apocalypse and the devil. I think there's an opportunity in all of this to have a very heightened sense of imagination with things, isn't it? I mean, I think unfortunately, with all the conspiracy theories swirling around about the complete confusion and mayhem and madness. With even rumour mills, I saw somewhere of them taking our DNA and our fingerprints from October or something when they start testing people. I just think we're dealing with gross incompetence or at times competence, because it's like, it's very hard to do. There's no precedent, is there, for dealing with a pandemic in modern times. Gabrielle, why is our test and trace system an absolute shambles? But I do think we're just dealing with lurching decision-making, some of which may be appropriate, much of which seems ludicrous. What I do find really odd, because although Nads isn't feeling too good today, she was in bed late last night, and one thing I've missed while she's been away is us falling asleep to the dulcet tones of John Campbell. And John Campbell was making a really interesting point. I don't understand why John Campbell doesn't get more irate. I would if I was him. I'd get really frustrated. And I'm going to say it one more time. So, yes, the rate is going up. Yes, the number of tests coming through is higher. But as the BBC, so we're not talking about some crackpot news organisation, reported the other day, there are 5 reasons why that's happening. I can't remember all of them, but some of them are. Testing is happening in hotspots. There is more testing going on than there was at the beginning. There was an inaccurate sense of testing right at the beginning of the crisis. The number of people, and this is the most important, and this is the bit I don't understand why people weren't saying it, the number of people going into ICU or on actual ventilators is going down alongside in relationship to the tests going up. So actually, I think it's something like John Campbell was saying last night, something along the lines of the infection rate or the death rate or the fatality rate is getting lower every day. Why wouldn't news organisations want to report that in order to make people feel a little bit more at ease? Yeah, Annie Brown, because a lot of people are feeling anxious, and I think this new rule of 6, the odd thing about this new rule of 6, which Nadia stumbled across yesterday, I think in The Sun, was that you got a maximum of 6 people, but they can be 6 people from as many households as you want. So I'm curious to know, does that include, say, me, Maddie and Kiki go out, does that mean Nadia can have 5 other people in from other households whilst we're out? Or is it a fixed number for the house, if you know what I mean, depending on whether people are in or not? Claire Haslam, the rule of 6 is just because the Tories like cricket. They're making it up. Could have been the rule of 4 then, couldn't it? Well, maybe they did. Maybe they thought, should we go for a boundary or should we go for a huge 6? So it sounds like and feels like the disease is weakening, or the virus is weakening in its intensity. The numbers are going down in hospitals, and yet the news flow and the news coverage would have us think, oh, look, here she is. Just been saying you're not feeling very well.
Not feeling very well.
Oh, dear. Do you want to get you a chair? Well. You wanting to join us, or are you going to potter in the background? Look, you're not feeling very well at all.
Hi, everybody.
Are you coming in?
Do you know what's so annoying, everybody? I'm just lying up there thinking, when will we ever have anything again without thinking it's COVID?
I know.
I mean, it's not COVID. I haven't got a temperature and stuff, but... Oh, God. There's so many stories of people that didn't have a temperature or didn't this or didn't that, isn't there? We just get paranoid.
Well, and also there seem to be stories of people who don't have... Cases are on the rise. Look, cases are on the rise everywhere. But the reason cases are on the rise is because more people are being tested.
Yeah, we
have to moderate the fear with the idea that if cases are rising, so in a sense, what's happening to it? It's becoming a little bit more like the common cold. More people are going to have it, but fewer and fewer people are going to have a severe response to it.
Yeah, for now. I mean, let's just hope that just carries on. It's not the case in some countries, though, isn't it? Which is what makes it strange again. Because in Israel, there are more fatalities, aren't there, if I'm right?
They've had 1,000 deaths in a population of 9 million.
Did they have as many as us previously? Did it go as wild as it did for us?
I think in most places, I think what's happening is most places where they had a stricter lockdown, everywhere has a sudden surge as soon as it comes out. So it fills to capacity and then it loses its intensity.
I mean, we're not scientists, epidemiologists, whatever, but it does feel like, doesn't it? It just feels like, from what you're seeing, that it has to do a certain amount of work, the virus.
No, Chris Whitty did say, I'm not, Rachel says, Chris Whitty did say this rise isn't just because of more testing. That is one factor. But at what point are people going to say, the cases are rising, but there aren't more people in hospitals?
Lots of people are saying that, but it's not the official line. I suspect it's because they just don't know if it's going to mutate. Don't you think?
But it would have mutated. If anything, it's mutating into a weaker...
Yeah, but wouldn't it be when it comes in like the flu season? I mean, this is what I'm
thinking.
No.
I mean, I'm not even suggesting that all these things are mutable and changeable. It just seems strange that at the moment, the news flow, when someone like John Campbell comes on last night saying, note for optimism, cause for optimism, a very rational, very reasonable, unpoliticised, not anti-government, not anti-establishmentarian in his, he's
not a conspiracy theorist.
Anyway. When someone like him is annotating all of the information coming from so many places and he sees cause for optimism, why does it never, ever trickle into the news flow?
Into the media.
That's what that's the bit I don't understand. It never trickles through into the media. And so
funny, isn't it? It is funny. One can only assume because it sells better. Panic sells better than anything else. Oh, God.
So look.
We had my mum and dad and Dina over for lunch yesterday in the garden. It was such a lovely day, wasn't it? I was just thinking, oh my God, as from today, that is now illegal.
No, as long as there's 6 people.
Yeah, but it wasn't 6 of us, there was more than 6 of us. Because with your own family.
There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there was 7. So.
Yeah, that's now officially illegal.
But
today.
if I went out today, you could do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what I was just asking. I mean, the ludicrous thing is if me, Maddie and Kiki go out for the day, you can have 5 people in.
Can I?
That's what I'd like to know. Is it a fixed household number? Or
you can't all be together at the same time, but you can move it all around.
So you could have, in different hours of the day, different 5 people coming in every hour of the day.
Yeah, yesterday, said in The Sun, it had a breakdown of the rules, and it had you can have 6 people from 6 different households as long as there's only 6.
Molly 26 Rose says you can't, it's 2 households. Look at the BBC website today, it says you're allowed to meet 6
and
people
The Sun
from
yesterday,
6 different households.
You'd think they could just do one thing, which is put it across to us in a way we could understand.
Yeah, 6 different households. It's no longer 2 households.
You know what's interesting, guys? With everybody that was here yesterday, we all sat around the table. Everybody had a completely different understanding of what the rules were, didn't they?
Yeah.
Didn't they? I mean, that's what shows that it's so... I mean, it's very difficult to ask people to stick to the rules if they're not quite sure what they are.
Karen R., the official instructions on GMT website for number of households is to limit number of households. I think the next step after rule of 6 is if it doesn't work will be to limit households. In Scotland, it's 6 people from 2 households. Yeah. In the UK, I've just looked at it on the BBC News website, a list of what it means today. In the UK, in England, it's 6 people from 6 different households. Is the maximum. They're not advocating that.
No, they prefer it if you didn't do that, but you could do that.
Yeah.
So if me and Mark went out, Maddie could have 6 of her different...
5 of her friends.
5 of her friends. 5 friends from different households. Which, if you think about it, does make it a little bit more sane, because they're all going to schools and colleges, young people now. People are going on the tube and on work. You couldn't suddenly say...
Let me just show... I just want to show...
From 2 households.
Just a couple of people...
It's so hot. Keep going hot and cold.
Just want to go on the BBC.
How are you all?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Okay, guys, for those of you who are struggling to see it in bold print, so it's the BBC News app. In England, how many people outdoors? 6 from multiple households from 14th of September.
6 from multiple households.
Okay, indoors. 6 from multiple households from the 14th of September. Look at the bottom.
6.
Okay?
Multiple households.
And this is on the BBC website titled What You Can and Can't Do Under Today's New Rules. There you go. It's our public service broadcaster. You can trust them more than the commercial broadcasters.
Yeah, wow.
So there you go.
But isn't it interesting that people were all confused?
Yeah, it's funny that we're all not actually 100% clear on it. But Michael Gove insists it's as clear as mud.
I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't see. Hi Amber, hi Laura, hi Paigey, hi Carla.
Oh, so yeah, all they see is your forehead.
Hi Miss One Tricia, hi Tina Davis, hi Gabrielle, hi Henrietta Henson, hi Sarah Jordan, hi Rachel Sayers, hi Samantha Chase, Jane Bentley, Karen Taylor, Claire Haslam, Jacqueline Frost, Jill Lister, Stuart G, Lucy Heaney. Oh, Social Dilemma. Somebody just Instagrammed me. I wonder if you're here. Somebody just DM'd me. Somebody singer about this. Everyone is talking about this. Gin Flora, if you're on here, thank you for telling me about this. What? There was a fascinating documentary last night on Netflix called The Social Dilemma.
Oh, yeah, someone just mentioned it.
Yeah, quite a few people. Jane texted me this morning, says you have to see it. And then quite a few people have DM'd me with it. Said it's petrifying. What? They've got I don't know what you'd call them. So hang on.
Exes?
Who are the people that like the ex-tech guys that work in social media,
Right.
explaining how they cause the
Sorry, I
addiction.
just changed my top.
Explaining how they cause the
Oh,
addiction
really?
that they do.
The dopamine hits and all that
Yeah,
kind of shit.
and Jane said it's absolutely petrifying.
Oh, let's watch it.
And but it was funny because it was just a little WhatsApp group with me, Jane, and Kay. And Kay said,
Sorry, I've
but the
changed
thing
my
is,
top.
she said, because Jane was saying it's petrifying the way that it affects young people's brains, democracy, everything. And Kay said, yeah, but I think as adults we're worse than the kids these days.
So do I.
Huh?
So do I.
Yeah. And then they were saying how they all checked their phones and actually they were worse than the kids in screen time.
Yeah.
Maddie's not there. Maddie's worse than me on screen time. But anyway, it's a good one to watch. Did lots of you watch it?
Yeah, a number of people mentioned it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it
Yeah.
was related to. And she became a butterfly. Hey, Mark and Ads, it's my 50th birthday today, and it sucks big balls. Lost my job, rule of 6, travel restrictions, and Tottenham lost. Tottenham losing is pretty much part of the course. We'll celebrate my 51st in style. Got a year to plan. Hey, oh, happy birthday, sweetheart.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. And she's a butterfly who can fly. Happy birthday to you. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Miserable, isn't it?
Yeah. So really, that's the main news flow today. Is that David Cameron's furious with, well, not furious, but concerned with Boris Johnson.
Is he?
Yeah. Myleene Klass has got engaged.
Oh, that's
Dermot
nice.
O'Leary's wife shares positive update on stolen wedding ring. Don't know if that means they found it. They'd say they'd found it. Positive update. Yeah. There was an earthquake in Bedfordshire.
Really?
In Leighton Buzzard, struck by tremor for second time in a week.
No.
Yeah. It was, I saw the first one strike.
No.
Yeah.
Has there ever been one before?
Residents in Bedfordshire have been hit by an earthquake for the second time. A magnitude 3.5 quake was also felt in the area on September the 8th. I heard that, September the 8th. There have been a small number of reports received from members of the public that they felt a tremor.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, I think fracking is not allowed anymore, but that's... the Greenland ice shelf is melting even faster than they thought, which is always a freaking worry, isn't it?
I was looking at in the newspaper on Sunday, they were... David Attenborough's new book that's coming out. Oh my God, I worry for him that David Attenborough's about actually what's happening. I thought, God, nobody's going to bloody buy it.
Yeah.
It's such bad news everywhere.
Yeah, there's all sorts of negative news, but John Campbell, in the face of all of this, is eternal. Either he's totally deluded, or he's he knows stuff that we don't know. Do you think he's deluded in his little room?
No, because what I love about John Campbell, in case you're new and you don't know who John Campbell is, he's somebody on YouTube that has got a huge following throughout lockdown. Because what he does is he collates information from around the world, from top labs and all sorts of places, very good sources, and then he just delivers the information. And I think that's what he's just consistently done every single day since lockdown, hasn't he?
I mean,
and for him to say, look him up, Dr. John Campbell, and watch it yourself and make your own decisions. For him to actually call it good news, he's only done that twice. The other time was about antibodies, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And about herd immunity.
Just to moderate our sort of take on it, because I think the danger is always that, when we talk about the news, we're talking about it through the lens of what we think, even if we're trying to objectively present it. I was listening to LBC the other day, and there was a woman, a 90-year-old woman, very plugged in, switched on, very reasonable, very rational 90-year-old woman who was talking about how she went through the Blitz. And she was flabbergasted and she was very kind. She wasn't blaming the young. She wasn't holding any part of society more responsible than others. And I thought, well, this was a reasonable voice. And she made a very reasonable point. She said, we have to get some perspective on everything here. This has hit us for 6 months, and without a shadow of a doubt, it's been a terrible hit, and we've all adjusted. But she was shocked by the inability, it seems, of people to be able to carry on for a bit longer. She said, what we're being asked to do, if for 6 years we were at war, and this is 6 months where we're essentially still got relatively our home comforts. Now that's not for everyone, obviously. Lots of people are going through financial problems with the government. But we're in a country, I tell you what, our country is better than most for trying to aid us through as much as possible. So I just thought it was important just to hear that and air that thought.
But where I would argue with her on that is there is no end in sight. It's not 6 months and a little bit extended. what we've got all the time. That was a guy from WHO on the other day
They
saying,
say W.H. Smith.
World Health Organization, and it just really pissed me off. He said, we've got to live alongside this for years, and all we have to do is social distance, wear a mask, wash our hands. And I thought, hang on a minute, you can't just say that like that's nothing. Social distancing is a lot. Not seeing your friends and family and socialising is a lot. Wearing masks so you can't talk to... So I get what she's saying, but I also think it's fine to say this is a pile of shit. And it's really, really hard.
Yeah, it's not like...
it is.
I mean, I suppose, in a way,
If
no,
you're 90,
no one went through World War II just going, oh, this is jolly good.
Exactly. And if you're 90, you're not heading off today to university terrified about how you're going to make friends because you can't mix. You haven't got 3 kids. I mean, I know somebody, right, who adopted a child at the beginning of lockdown. And this child's about 14 months when he adopted him. And he hasn't been able to interact with any other children. He's already had a bit of a tough start because who knows how he started off. But imagine never seeing your child playing with another child. So I get it, but you are 90. This is very difficult because there is no end in sight. The mum with 2 kids stuck in a flat with no garden. This is tough.
But I think it's,
for us, it's not tough.
But I think it's really important to sometimes see things from other people's perspectives. So
I
think
agree.
so not even my mum's generation, but like your mum's generation, who like your mum has found it kind of. There's been a strange, perverse sort of comfort and peace for your mum because the world hasn't been as frantic. It hasn't felt so out of control, and so there's been an element of peace. Yes, she's missed being able to sort of go to Spain and things like that.
She's missing it now.
But through different people's eyes, it's about trying to understand why the oldest in society seem to think that the youngest simply want everything now and they want it as they had it. And,
Because I think it's a rite of passage. I think young people do. I can look back and go, I can imagine at 17... I can't imagine at 17, actually, having my wings clipped to that degree. Because it's a primal instinct to be out, trying everything, taking risks, looking for love, and they've had to completely... And they've just got to put the lid back on it again, and that's hard. I think putting the lid back on it is hard, isn't it?
Xander Nads hasn't seen your doppelganger yet. She hasn't been too well, so I haven't had a chance to thrust it in her face yet. Imagine these times with no internet. Well, Natasha Milchin, that's a very interesting point.
Exactly.
I mean, on the one hand, it's easy to knock tech and social media, and we are going to watch this social... What's it called? The social...
Experiment. I'm going to watch it with the girls, though.
But at the same time, I remember in the 70s and 80s, everyone saying exactly the same about television. And, we are in a modern technological age, and I'm less concerned about the fact that we can get lots of information. What concerns me more is who controls that information. And I think in this situation, Ofcom or organisations like that need to be monitoring the way in which just bad news is just, pumped out. There needs to be some algorithmic approach to news flow that says, look, if you're going to pump out all these negative stories, you need to moderate it.
We need more balance.
With factually, they all have to be factually correct and journalistically sound, but they need to be balanced in some manner. So you have
for people's mental health.
Yeah, so
simple
perhaps
as that.
So perhaps you have got someone like reporting the facts that someone like John Campbell's picking up on. They might not get as much clicks, but they're put as high up. And I do think it's easy to always point the finger at tech. Tech will have saved so many people.
Yeah. No, but I think I don't think it's all bad, but I think it'd be an interesting programme to watch. But what I don't understand is if one of the news channels now was saying, oh my God, good news, like John Campbell was, I'd be ringing up everyone. Listen, there's somebody on the news talking about good news. So I think at the moment it would sell as well as bad news.
I think there's a darker, more sinister thing at work in the bad news thing. If you think about it, news is always, what makes the news is generally, and always has generally, we have this halcyon idea that in the 70s it wasn't bad news. It was just pumped out less frequently.
Well, all journalists say that they've been told at some point, if it bleeds, it leads.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Bad news bleeds.
Yeah, but the point is that we are, as humans, drawn to the dark side.
Yeah, we are.
We like to think that there's incoming catastrophe. Yeah, subconsciously. Yeah. We're flirting with death. We're flirting with atrocity. We're flirting... Wow. Oh, yeah.
Look at kids, the way when they love anything that's
that's why horror films are successful, gore and all that kind of stuff. So I do think it's not only what they pump out, there's also something in us that gets addicted to it. We're drawn to it. I mean, we're both like
Like
that.
when you look at a car crash, I suppose.
Yeah, rubbernecking and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, in the title we've got cause for optimism, because I think sometimes one needs to hear it, and John Campbell was extraordinarily optimistic last night. He forced Nadia out of the bedroom, out of the
We
mountain.
didn't finish listening to it because we were tired. I'm
and
going
also
to
you-
listen to all of it today.
You left preemptively saying, I'm going to wake you up. It was a very odd moment last night.
Because I could feel myself snoring.
I was enjoying being back in bed with my wife, and suddenly she was up and out.
Because I was going...
But she was leaving me.
But my own snoring was... I was so panicked, I didn't want you to not sleep.
Oh,
that
no.
I know. Never mind.
Oh, dear.
Listen, if I feel up to it later, I'm going to do a cooking at 6. A
Oh,
cooking
crikey. Well,
live.
don't over-promise, always under-promise.
No, I said
and
if I
over-
feel
yeah.
up to it.
Okay. Obviously, in the title there as well, is that Israel is in lockdown again. It's the first official second lockdown, but I wanted to...
And it's total.
It's total
Schools,
lockdown for
restaurants.
3 weeks. My worry about total lockdown, and I think this is something that I hope creeps into our policy from here on in, is any kind of lockdown simply postpones the inevitable rather than removes the disease. Do you see what I mean?
Because there are some voices, well, many voices, in opposition to Whitty and Neil Ferguson that actually have always believed that it needs to be herd immunity. Who knows? We don't know. Yeah. Just saying this is the polar positions on it.
Yeah.
And in fact, what Sweden has done, there are plenty of people at Oxford University that think the same as Andres Engels, I think his name is. And that's been herd immunity. They've gone for herd immunity right from the beginning.
But one thing I would say to moderate the constant comparisons with Sweden is their population is dramatically smaller, and they don't suffer from overpopulation.
No, but the spread was still fast.
Because I think in every country that it goes to, you have an initial, it burns bright and then it burns out. But I do think with here, you know, I mean, for example, I don't think London will ever go into a mass lockdown. I do think they may end up having things like curfews. I mean, if you think of what London's like in the run up to Christmas, every bar is open, heaters are out on the streets, all the shops are open. I mean, I'm curious to know how, when we get into that gully of Christmas and cold weather, you know, how things are gonna play out. But anyway, well, there you go, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you're pleased that Nadia's made it. She did that just for you. I said to her, I'm going to go and do the live. You're going to lie in bed and I'm going to get you a Beecham's. And she said, no,
I'll come and say hello.
Okay. Lots of love to all of you. And there will be content landing later today. What exactly it is, whether it be a live cook or a vlog, probably a green-fingered hell of some form, that'll be coming up later.
And I can't find my glasses. That's why I haven't read a single
And these are the only pair I've got because I've trodden on the other two in the garden.
Why do you keep putting them down in the garden?
Because I don't know.
Idiot.
It's frustrating. All right, my darlings. Lots of love.
See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.